in perpetuity. All right, let's do this again. Family, welcome to our Thursday Live. This is only our second time doing this. We ain't looking for perfection. We just looking for consistency, okay? I'm your favorite queer radio personality, Anna DeShawn. This is E3 Radio, and you know, we are queer news done right. Family, I'm so glad y'all are here. I'm so glad Ann Do is here, okay, to tell me my audio was messed up, but we didn't fix it. We're back and we're live. And I want to start with our first story. I want to talk about Juliana Stratton winning the Democratic nomination for U.S. Senate. You know, she is somebody who has always shown up to Black Pride. She has always shown up when the cameras weren't around to show her support. I actually had the opportunity to interview her a couple of years ago. And I just want to play y'all a quick clip so y'all can see what I'm talking about, because she has been there, like I said, even when the cameras were not. Let's take a listen. Pride Pod, what's going on? I'm your girl, Anna DeShawn, your favorite queer radio personality. And we've got Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton with us. What's going on?
Well, it's the right to Pride, and I'm glad to be here at Pride Southside. I was telling somebody recently, it's not Pride Southside, it's Pride Southside.
Southside? Let them know.
Yeah, that's right.
I was just laughing because the Lieutenant Governor dapped me up one time at Mariano's, and I was like, that's the type of Lieutenant Governor I want in my state, goddamn. So thank you for being here. It means a lot to see you. And so what are you and Governor Pritzker doing to make sure our state remains safe in the face of everything that's happening across the country right now?
Yeah, well, thank you for that question. What I can say is that our goal is to make Illinois the most LGBTQIA plus affirming state in the nation. Yeah, and so we get into it, we talk about it, but you got to get to our YouTube channel. I just re-uploaded the video, okay, to watch the full interview. We didn't have her too long, but we had her for long enough, yeah, and we had a lovely conversation. I want to support people who always show up for us. I want to support people who don't just show up when it's time to run for office, when it's time for re-election. Like I said, she's always been there. She's been to like all the gay spots during this moment in time of her running for this office or this nomination. And let me tell you, it doesn't go unseen. It's really appreciated, truthfully. So congratulations to Juliana Stratton. That race was tight. Raja had a lot of money. And Robin Kelly is a proven politician who has also stood by the LGBTQ community. And so it was a race. It was a race. I think it's probably the most competitive, if not one of the most competitive ones we had in the state this week. So she came out on top. I mean, JB Pritzker did endorse her. So that helped just a little bit. Now, I also want to talk about my good friend, Chris Moisier. All right. Chris is the first trans athlete to compete in the Olympics. All right. And Chris lives right here in Chicago, and he's a really good guy, really, really supportive. And he has written a foreword for this book called Fair Game. Now, Fair Game is about trans athletes and the future of sports. And they've interviewed trans athletes. I think one thing that has been missing from this conversation is actually hearing from trans athletes themselves. Yes. And this book is all of that. And so tonight there's an event at Babe Sports Bar, which is the first women's sports bar in the city of Chicago. We're going to roll through there tonight and support. But there's also a book talk back at 3 Avenues Bookshop on tomorrow, Friday, March 20th from 6:30 to 8. Where all of the authors are going to be there. There's a talk back, a discussion about trans joy, and here are the authors of this book. So if you're into reading, yes, or if you want to know more about trans athletes and sports, if you want to just hear their perspectives, I say go get this book, and not just from these big box retailers. Make your way to Women's and Children's First, okay? Make your way to Call and Response Books. Make your way to a local bookstore and get this book. We must support our own. 30 million. That's how much it was. Yeah, but she did it. She did it. She needed every ad she ran. Okay. Now, another top story that's happened this week since we last went live on Monday is that the WNBA has a verbal agreement with the CBA and creating a CBA for the league. No one knew if there would actually be a season. Yesterday we were 51. So today we are 50 days out from the start of the WNBA season. And we still don't have a written agreement. Yeah, now it's time for all the written work to be done and all the lawyers to review and double check and triple check everything that was said in the verbal agreement makes it to the written page. But alas, it appears there will be a WNBA season. And you better notice this queer news, okay? They got a league where 35% of the league is openly out and queer. Child, that's queer news, okay? Let me just walk through some of these stats because what has happened is pretty historic. And it's something special to talk about and to think about. As somebody who grew up in a time where I remember the first game, I recorded it on VHS. Okay. It's got to be in my parents' house. Grew up at a time where I had to be on the boys basketball team in grammar school. And I remember when this league was started. Yeah, I grew up wanting to be on the NBA. I didn't grow up dreaming about being in the WNBA. And so the fact that they have held true to what they believe in, knowing their value, did not waver from what they demanded. And they got that, and they got that for their teammates and for their generations to come. This has changed. This will change sports. Let's talk about it. Let me show y'all some of these stats. All right. Let's talk about pay. Last year, the league minimum was $66,000. Now the league minimum, $300,000. Supermax, $249,000 last year. It's going to be $1.4 million this season. Come on. 120K was the average salary last year. It's going to be $600,000 this year. Could you imagine working your job and your salary was $120,000, but now your salary is $600,000? Can you even equate the percentage of increase that is? That it's insane. It's insane. Then you go from $1.5 million for the salary cap to a $7 million salary cap. Let's hear from Nneka Ogwumike, who is the president of the Players Association, who has been a true leader in this whole process. She did an interview with Robin Roberts, who is my absolute favorite, on Good Morning America. So let's watch this video and hear what she had to say about this.
Mostly ups to get to this point, but it's a deal that's changing lives in real time and also for generations to come.
As you said, it's a verbal agreement, but there are some details that have been finalized. We're hearing that it is the largest salary jump in all of sports history. So what details can you share about the deal?
Well, I mean, to my understanding, it is the single largest jump. And with that, we were able to, as many have seen, report a 7-figure max salary. There's not a lot of details that I can share because we're still trying to finalize the term sheet.
Sure.
But we've been able to kind of preempt the players about what it is that they're going to be voting and ratifying, and that includes increases in obviously salary, minimum, average, and max. It includes retirement benefits, specifically something that reflects our appreciation for those who came before us and our legends. And I mean, we wouldn't be here without people like you, without so many of the players that have created this league that we're in today.
And it wasn't just about the salary benefits. So you did want to get paid what you were owed.
For sure.
But it's housing, other aspects beyond salaries?
Yes, absolutely. Housing, as we so passionately voiced, was something that was very important to us. We're in this transitional state. We are declaring our value. We're fighting for what we deserve and what we're owed. but that also still requires certain benefits that provides the support for us to be able to perform at a high level. And we're thinking a lot about the players that exist today, and also the amount of money that they can save to build for the future that they really desire for themselves, but then also the players that are coming in who are themselves their own businesses, but still navigating that very tight transition from being in the college space from being in the college space to the pro space.
Yeah. Yo, let me tell you something. This deal is absolutely historic. And it is going to change the face of women's sports, similar to how women's soccer did it, looking for fair pay, right? They held out, the men supported them, and then they got, the salaries they deserved in soccer. And women's basketball is now at that moment. And the naysayers who were saying, the league doesn't have any money. The league does have money. Right? Budgets show what you are actually prioritizing. Yeah. And they were not prioritizing the players. And when she talks about housing, we have to think these players play in this league in the summer. They don't live in these cities all year round. So many of them do not. And so they need a place to stay while they're here. Can you imagine there aren't 3-month leases? They have to make special arrangements for these players and their housing situation. And everybody is not a star. Everybody's not a Brittany Griner. Everybody's not an Angel Reese. Some of these folks can walk down the street and you wouldn't know who they were. Whereas you have other people where they walk down the street and you absolutely know who they are, right? And so you have to be able to put them into places that are safe, and it's not going to lock them into a year-long lease when they only stay in someplace for 3 months. Housing is a huge issue for these athletes. And the fact that retirement benefits are in it, they have really thought about everything. The W is a special league, and we cannot discount how Unrivaled has shown that there is a model that works, that people are here and ready and been ready to support these women athletes and basketball players. And if you don't do it, W, we're going to do it over here at Unrivaled. And so I think Unrivaled put that necessary pressure on these owners to take a step back and think about how much can actually be in this pot if you pay these players what they deserve. A revenue share is absolutely the model. It absolutely is the model. And it's completely opposite of what we're taught in America as it pertains to capitalism. This is not a capitalistic model. The old one was, but this one is not. This one leans more towards we all gonna get some, more towards a socialist model, more towards a we all gonna win model, a community model. And you know what? It's gonna work. It's gonna work. They're gonna get paid more money, and they're gonna play harder, and they're gonna fight harder for these jobs and these positions. And these teams, they're gonna need to make more money to cover it. And so guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna go harder on the marketing. It's just gonna be so good. This year is going to be so good. I'm so excited that the All-Star game for the WNBA is happening in Chicago. Yo, let's get to work. We're gonna have a good time this year, okay? That's right. And don't say they got money, otherwise there wouldn't be a league. Exactly. It's just a matter of who's getting the money when. All right. This has been fun. I'm going to make it tighter for Thursday. Monday is a lot easier to prep for because the story's already done. But I'm going to be a lot tighter for Thursdays. And I already got my story that I want to talk about for next Thursday. And what I want to do is I want to bring in guests because there's people who want to do interviews with me. And we don't have a long form editor. So I think this could be a good forum on Thursdays to do those interviews. I also think that there's things that happen where I can do a whole story on it for Thursdays, which I also think could be good. So let me know if you got ideas for what the Thursday lunch hour could be. But I'm going to do it consistently. Thursdays at noon, Mondays at 7 p.m. Thursdays at noon, Mondays at 7 p.m. I'm going to start promoting it. I've done this now. This is the first week, the second live. We learning, we out here, and we're just going to keep getting better at it. And I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. All right. I'm going to go get some food now. See y'all later.